This is constantly changing. So computer science itself is constantly changing. You name it, that backpack, figure out a way to put it on the internet and what that would do for it. And it's constantly innovating and changing. That is computer science. It's creative. Anything you can imagine. If you can think of it in your brain, you can do it on the screen. Or even now outside the screen with VR devices and whatnot. And it is problem solving. If you like solving problems, figuring out puzzles, computer science is a great option for you. Anybody know who this is? Uncle Gabe. Gabe Newell. Why is Gabe Newell famous? Steam. Yeah, he is the founder of Valve. So Steam, Half-Life, Team Fortress, Portal, all that stuff. He's kind of a big deal. And he has a quote that I love here. The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everyone else. Is there anyone in here who has ever written code or built some hardware system that was pretty cool and you showed someone and they're like, yeah, that is awesome? Yeah? What was it? What'd you build? You built an autonomous car. Okay. So, and then who did you show it to? Okay, and what was the reaction? Yeah, that's awesome, yeah. Surprised and didn't know. What'd you build? Okay, wow. Built an arcade system with a Raspberry Pi Model B plus, 3 Model B plus, something like that. I don't want to get the model number wrong. And yeah, and showed it to family and they loved it. So that is what people love in computer science. When you build something and then you show people and the reaction is like, holy cow, how did you do that? We live for that. And I think in a way Gabe was right. We kind of are like wizards because people look at it and say, how in the world was that possible? Just like that HoloLens video. So in terms of computer science, now we know a little bit more about it. I'm just curious, show of hands. Raise your hand if you are, doesn't matter if it's Neumont or anywhere else, but you're dead set. I want to do computer science as a career. Raise your hand. Okay, give these people a big hand. We're going to talk about how important that is, and really, if you take nothing else out of this, I want you to take home, I want to do computer science, because we're going to talk about what a big problem this is, and whether it's at Neumont or somewhere else, you are part of the solution if you're interested in this. So why should you do computer science? Computer science rules the world. It's everywhere. It's everything. And it's not slowing down. Computers are growing into every facet of our lives, and computer scientists, if they don't already, will rule the world. You might have heard, especially some of you parents, about some STEM challenges we have. Science, technology, engineering, and math. We don't have enough STEM workers in America, right? That's kind of been thrown out there in the public sphere for the last decade or so. And it really is true, it's a challenge. However, if you look at the numbers, what you find is it's actually not a STEM worker challenge, it's a computer science worker challenge. This is growth in STEM in the last 6 years, and the blue line there at the top is all STEM disciplines. 800,000 jobs were added in STEM in the last 6 years, which is phenomenal growth, best in any sector. If you look at the second line, that's the computer science jobs. 700,000 out of those 800,000 jobs were computer science. And if you take that away and look at the rest of STEM, it's actually pretty marginal growth. So computer science really is the engine behind what makes STEM grow. And that kind of growth in computer science has resulted in this kind of a problem. We have 500,000 open jobs in computer science in America right now. 500,000. And every year, colleges like Neumont and others around the country graduate 60,000 computer science grads. I got a laugh right here. We're barely making a dent. It's a huge problem. Why is this a huge problem? What is the problem with open computer science jobs? Go ahead. What's that? They go elsewhere, other countries? Okay. Way in the back in Maine.
We're slowly progressing throughout the years, and more as we progress, more jobs open up, and now since we don't really produce enough people, and
Okay? Yeah, I agree. It's a big problem. So imagine companies like Google, Microsoft, Intel, eBay, Adobe, these companies dominate the stock market in a lot of ways. And imagine if all of a sudden those companies can't find people to do the work that they have. What's going to happen to those companies, right? All of a sudden they're going to start missing out on revenue. Maybe they're going to start missing out on the projects that can improve people's lives that we're talking about. And all of a sudden a lot of change happens. That's not to mention the military consequence, because cyber warfare and the military is going so digital now too, that if we don't have the workers in that space, we're going to have a major problem.
Saying that from how many open jobs there are, it could slow down our progression of evolving of what we use for technology.
Absolutely. It will slow down the evolution of technology. It'll slow down all kinds of things. So experts are calling this a massive problem, and we have a lot of problems in the world. We have a lot of challenges in America, but this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest, most pressing, underreported problems that we have in this country. And experts have warned that this is going to impact our nation's economy, our standard of living, and our national security if we don't fix it. And I'm a patriot. I love America as much as I love computer science and education. So again, if you're thinking of going into computer science, I strongly encourage you to do so. The nation needs you. This is just expected to get worse. Over the next 5 years, that 500,000 opening is expected to be about 1 million. 1 million unfilled jobs in America. It's such a challenge. There's a company called Blue Seed, you could look it up, but they are toying with the idea of purchasing a cruise ship and just parking it right outside the international waterline near San Francisco permanently, and then renting out office space to companies to do their software development there. Why would they do that? Why park it just outside the international line?
So you possibly have people from different countries come work.
So you can get foreign workers. There are not enough American workers to do this, so let's try to get them from elsewhere. And it's hard to bring. Yeah, doing computer science instead of history. Are there any history teachers out there? History's good. But it's computer science might earn you more money. Go ahead, what out here? Wow, okay. Might want to sign you up for a marketing team. Yeah, nice campus, classes you want, experience you want. And to me, this comes down to a matter of focus, and it's all of the things that we've talked about here. But traditional colleges focus on research, and that's not a bad thing. We need it, right? Without the internet, we wouldn't have had that project without research, we wouldn't have had that project with UCLA and Stanford. So research is critical. Neumont is not a research institution, and as I talked about earlier, our sole goal why Neumont even exists. And I went through this myself. My first job in computer science, I got a bachelor's in computer science and went out and got a job. And I got a job in the highly coveted dry cleaning software industry, right? Anyone looking at that as a future option? Opportunity here today. Look around you, look at all the faces. Everybody in here is in the same boat. They don't know anyone. They're maybe nervous. They're maybe a little afraid to go talk to each other. You're all in the same boat. So realize that. And as you're wandering around, you're going to do some group activities. You're going to go out and meet people at Neumont. Talk to people. Get to know them. And you can start today building your positive peer group. And if you do that, you can keep in touch with them on Discord and other things as you lead up to school, but you'll be so much better off when you come to Neumont because you'll have a start of that. The other reason I'm telling you this is you might, as I'm talking about this, be thinking of someone, yeah, my friend back home, Neumont's perfect for them. I wish they were here because they would be that for me, and I would be that for them. And if you have that, we want to help you introduce them to that. So when you break in a few minutes right behind in the check-in area where you picked up your bags and whatnot, there'll be some people there with some wristbands, some Neumont wristbands. And if you have someone that you think they could be my positive peer group if they were here, stop by and grab 2 wristbands, one for you and one for them. And then we would like to talk to them. So important. I also give you some advice for FReX. Just Go out and have fun. Talk to a lot of you when you came in. Check out the campus, experience the city, just learn everything there is to learn, ask a ton of questions, and most importantly, like I said, meet your fellow prospective students so that you can start building those positive peer relationships. They're so critical. All right, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'm so excited to see you all. I'm going to look forward to seeing you throughout the day. I'm going to introduce our next speaker. He's an amazing guy. He's very energetic, I'll have to warn you. We kind of almost keep him in a cage sometimes, and then we say, unleash Krebs, when the time comes. But that's his name, Krebs. Professor Krebs. He's amazing. He graduated from Neumont in 2010, and he went out and worked in the industry. He went out and got a master's degree, and then we hired him back as a faculty member. And it's intentional. Most of our faculty members are not Neumont grads, but it's intentional that we have a guy like Krebs on staff, because Neumont is a unique and strange place. And you could tell from some of the stuff we were talking about that it's a different way of learning. And when you're going through those struggles and those trials, and you're about to throw your computer off the roof, Josh has been there, and he knows what it's like, and he knows what it takes to get through. Josh Krebs, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. As I get myself set up here. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Bad news. You have to listen to another speaker. Good news. No, I was about to say, don't worry, I'll keep it short. That's not true. I'm terrible at that. They're like, Krebs, you have 5 minutes. And I'm like, 27? Cool, I got this. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. And sometimes these questions are about your opinion. And anytime I ask you about how you're feeling or what your thoughts are, or what your opinions are, I need you just to be honest with me. I don't like it when people just feed me stuff because they think that's what I want. That's not what I want. What I want is the truth. So give me the truth. How many of you are excited to be here today?
Yeah.
There we go. Look at all these people. Look, and yep, from the back, from Team Stephen King, we have like all the hands went up. Great job. Absolutely excellent. I'm so happy to see you guys here. I don't know if you know this, and this is, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not privy to that data at this time, but this might very well be the largest group for FReX that we've ever had. This is amazing. I am thrilled to have you here. Thank you so very much. Oh look, it's my favorite topic. Presentation there was a little laggy. Get on it, Ambrose. Jeez. My name is Josh Krebs. It almost feels weird. I'm 40 years old. I've had this name my whole life. And now when I say Josh Krebs, it feels weird because that first one, that Josh part, like means nothing anymore. I'm just kind of curious, are there any Joshes in the room? There's that one guy. Good news, your name means nothing. When I first started attending Neumont in 2008, we had a cohort of roughly 80-ish students. We had like 80 plus or minus 4, something like that. Which at that time, by the way, in 2008, that was the largest cohort Neumont had ever seen. For the record, we don't know yet, we don't know the exact numbers yet, but for the record, your cohort is currently on track to be nearly 3 times that size. This is awesome, this is awesome. But in my cohort, there were like 4 Joshes, which is roughly 5% of the population, right? There were 4 Joshes, and because you're in a cohort, one of the reasons we call you a cohort is because you are a group that will continue to cycle together because you're on the same timeline, right? And so in my cohort, that meant that 5% of us would be in the same classes with each other for the next couple of years. And we discovered very quickly that our first names meant nothing anymore. So we kind of assumed new identities at that point, roughly gauged around our last names. which worked out very, very well. So you often will not hear people call me Josh. They will call me Krebs if we're familiar. That's perfectly fine. My students, but students in the back, do you guys call me Krebs when you're my student? I make it very, very clear that whenever you're enrolled in my class, we have a professional relationship at that point. At that point, I am Mr. Krebs. I am Mr. Krebs. I also, at our school, we don't have what is traditionally referred to as a professor, but we don't mind if you refer to us as professors. I tell my students, it's your choice. You don't have to do this, but if you choose to, I take it as a sign of respect. Professor Krebs. I have also accepted, because I have a master's degree, I have been referred to as Master Krebs. I'm okay with that. I have also accepted Jedi Master, Sensei, Senpai Krebs. I see you. Don't worry, I see you. I will accept all those. It's perfectly fine by me. But a little bit about me leading up to my time at Neumont. So, bicycles, beautiful weather. Oh, great, you take a little bit of fall. You're like, oh no, I scraped my knee. Also, I got impaled by rebar. Okay? Now, when you go to the hospital to have that rebar removed, you get 2 doctors. And one of them walks up to you and says, don't worry. I've read a lot of theory about this. You're going to be my first rebar patient. But I've read 2 books. The other doctor is like, I've got some experience. I've done stuff like this before. Pretty similar. Not exactly rebar, but I performed a lot of surgeries. Now, all those 2 doctors, which one do you want? Not the one with theory. It's wonderful that you know how to think about something, but it's so much better if you know how to do something. And so he was telling me, he's like, find a school that will teach you the most current technology possible. Step number 2, find a school that won't just give it to you, that won't just talk at you. Find a school that will get you to do the thing. And the third thing is find a school that is not going to waste your money. When you're done, you had better be useful and productive. I kid you not, I've said that so many times today. I make no jokes. These are the things my brother told me before we even knew what a Neumont was. Finish line, and you have that victory, and you're like, holy smokes, they were teaching me. The power was in me the whole time, right? That's what it becomes. But we have to help you discover that first. And if we just give it to you, then no, it's not your power. It's just something that you regurgitated at us. We don't want you to have our power. We want you to have your power. So we're going to help you discover that. That means you got to earn everything. And then this one right here is super duper important to me. This one right here is super duper important to me. I have students who come into my office and sometimes they hit that roadblock where they're just tired and they don't know what to do. And they sit down in front of me and they're like, you know, I know I'm not turning in my homework and it's just, I'm just not motivated. And I love these moments. I love when students come talk to me. I welcome it. I have a box of tissues on my desk for this purpose. And I sit there and they tell me that they're not motivated. And I hear this all the time and I look at them and I say, oh my gosh, you're not motivated. I totally understand. I get that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you're not motivated. I care that you're committed. And I told a student this one time and he looked at me and he goes, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand the difference. And I'm like, I was an English major. No, I go, I get thick.
But the good news is, school doesn't start till September. So you've got plenty of time to read all these chapters, and there will be a test on day 1. Who's excited? Heck no. That's what other schools do. We do not give you large books to read and sit and lecture at you. That would not be the Neumont way. I do, however, want to send you home with something. How many of you, let me minimize my camera here. How many of you saw this video? We posted it to Discord. Anybody remember seeing this video? Yes. We posted it to Discord and a few other places. Anybody know what it is? Huh? It is a small computer. Everything we do is computers. Is it a cardboard computer? Yes, it's a guy. Oh, is it a homemade Google Home? The answer is yes. We're sending all of the prospective students home if I could get my hand around it, with this. And then you're like, what is it? I have no idea. It's a box of cardboard. Here, let me set it down right here so you can see it, and I'll get the camera back up, and then everybody can get a better look at it. There. Can you see it? This is a Google Home. How many of you have a Google Home or an Alexa at home? You got one recently. How many of you built it? Aww. I built mine. Do you want to see mine? This is mine. Hold on, I'll put the camera on. Right? It's that little cardboard box right there. Do you see it? That's my Google Home. Now, do you believe me that it's a Google Home?
Yes!
We can test it. Because there's a few things that we need to know today. We need to know, first of all, you're going to have to walk from here to Neumont. So one of the first things I want to know is, okay, Google, how's the weather?
Currently in Salt Lake City, it's 66 and sunny. Today, it'll be mostly sunny, with a forecasted high of 75 and a low of 55.
Out of a cardboard box. Right? Google out of a cardboard box. What does it look like? Here, let me show you, because it's just kind of cool to see. Unboxing. Right? I'm unboxing. Okay, so first you get a book. What do we do with the book? No, I'm kidding. Actually, you need that book. You are going to need that book, so don't throw that book away. Okay, next we have a piece of paper. This you can't throw away. Okay, next. Look. It's cardboard. Who's excited? Yeah! Okay, I got one piece of cardboard, two pieces of cardboard, a button. It clicks. Okay? A speaker. Some cables and stuff. A little electrical circuit that I can't get out. An electrical circuit board. I don't even know what that does. And this thing here, it's another electrical circuit board. And you're going to take all of this and turn it into a Google Home. Now there's a few more things you're going to need, and the few more things you're going to need are in this. You are also going to get this packet along with this box. So let me do another. This wouldn't be an unboxing, this would be an unpacketing. We're going to unpack it. Here we go. Sorry, Emily, I just ripped one open. Okay, first thing in the packet. I want to hear some excitement. An HDMI cable. HDMI cable. Why am I giving you an HDMI cable? Exactly. How many of you have computer monitors at home? How many of you know what kind of input they have? Ooh, that's a pretty good number. How many of you have no idea what kind of input they have? Yeah, that's a good large number. Okay, let me ask you this. How many of you have some form of flat screen TV at home? That's pretty much everybody. This HDMI cable will allow you to connect your Google Home to your TV. Because we thought, well, maybe not everybody has a monitor that will work, but I know everybody's got a TV at home that will work. So you can plug it into your TV. Next thing in this app, another box. And inside that box, a power supply. How many of you have plugs at home? Okay, we're good to go. We are set on that one. Next thing. What is it? A Raspberry Pi, but it's not just a Raspberry Pi. Let's see, am I turning it the right way? Okay, there, that looks better. It's not just a Raspberry Pi. It's a very specific kind of Raspberry Pi. What kind of Raspberry Pi is it? It's a 3B Plus. This is my guy right here, right? Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. This is the latest Raspberry Pi. This is the brains. It's an entire computer in a box. Whoa. I'm going to open it so you can leave.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm looking at the bag that it's packed in and notice that that's an electrostatic discharge sensitive bag. Shouldn't you be wearing a wrist strap or other form of protection?
That would seem like a really good idea, except Raspberry Pis are super durable. I throw these things around and they just keep working. Yes, in the real world you should be wearing an electrostatic strap and grounded right to the case or whatever you're on, but in this case I'm just doing a presentation. So, Raspberry Pi. It's a whole computer. It's an entire computer on one little board. That whole computer is going to run a whole operating system, Raspbian, and you are going to build a Google Home with it. Additionally, in the case, did that show up on the screen? Yep, SanDisk. So you get your memory card. That's like basically like your hard drive. That's where the operating system lives. Excuse me. Now, a couple of questions. We know that my Google here works, but what else could we do with a Google Home? Why would we give you a Google Home in a cardboard box? What else can it do? Well, being a IT professional like I am, one of the fun things I like to do is teach the ethical hacking class. Who's interested in ethical hacking? Who's interested in unethical hacking? No, don't raise your hand. Wait a minute, somebody take note of those people. We're going to need to know about them. Okay? We wanted to do a little bit of hacking, so I came up with some ways that I can hack this. Let's see what my Google can do. Okay, Google, what do you think of FReX?
FReX has been the most exciting experience of my short 886 trillion millisecond life.
I hacked Google. I made my Google Home say stuff that nobody else's Google Home will say. Right? Matter of fact, my Google Home is so intelligent, we can fact check President Reed. Fact checking presidents is a thing. You've heard about this, right? The news does it all the time. I think we should fact check some of President Reed's presentation. So, let's ask it this. Okay, Google, are software developers really wizards?
The developer that programmed me kept yelling, Wingardium Leviosa. I'm not sure what that meant.
Okay, fact check number 1 taken care of. Apparently we are wizards. Fact check number 2. Okay, Google, is there a software dev shortage?
I don't know. Someone was going to program a response to that question, but they got 20 other job offers. Where can I find me some devs?
All right. So apparently there's a software dev shortage. We can't even get Google programmed correctly. All right. Lastly, okay, Google, what is computer science?
Let me check my database. Computer science is Neumont, and based on the law